You are watching The Horizon, the voice of the Amber Woman, exclusively on ABC Amber TV.
Mama yo, now your boy go get down. Blue Jay promise. Mama you kind, Mama you're beautiful, Mama you good, Mama you're wonderful. No woman like you, Mama. No woman like you, Mama. Thank God for you, Mama. Thank God for you, Mama. 'Cause you gave me life, oh Mama. Queen of my life, oh Mama. I go love you for life, oh Mama. 'Cause you love me so, oh Mama. From small begin, I never forget all the suffer when you suffer for me. Oh yeah, yeah. All the pain and the troubles where I pull you through. I remember when money no be there and chop no be there for her. You be the dry your best. You go run around to find us something where we go chop. When I dey sick, you know the sleep. You go dey cry all night. You go hold me tight, start to pray, say God make you help my oh Lord. Ooh, I wo yeah yeah choma. I funga na better yeah funga choma. I'm bombing na better yeah bomba choma. Ega na chinu yeah ga choma. Mama, I wo yeah yeah choma. I funga na better yeah funga choma. I'm bombing na better yeah bomba choma. Ega na chinu yeah ga choma. Ega choma mama. Ega na chinu yeah ga choma. Chinu yeah ga choma. Oh, you gave me life, oh Mama, queen of my life, oh Mama, I go love you for life, oh Mama, 'cause you love me so, oh Mama. Ale mama, selelelele. Ale mama, selelelele. Ale mama, shekelelelele. Ale mama, you're my motivation. You gave me the best education, mama. The song where I sing, I'm for you. Now it's special dedication to you. Oh yeah, I know say every night and day you pray say meka mama. The God where you the pray, I'm for heaven. Don't give me this inspiration, mama. The song where I sing, I'm for you. Now to show my appreciation to you. Be a warrior, yeah, chama. I funga na better, yeah, funga chama. I'm bombing na better, yeah, bomba chama. Ghana, chinum, yeah, chama. Mama, warrior, yeah, chama. I funga na better, yeah, funga chama. I'm bombing na better, yeah, bomba chama. Ghana, chinum, yeah, chama. Chinum, yeah, chama. Chinum, yeah, chama. Yeah, chama. You gave me life, Mama, queen of my life, queen of my life. I will love you for life. I will love you, Mama, 'cause you love me so, Mama. You gave me life, Mama, queen of my life, Mama. I will love you for life, oh Mama. 'Cause you love me so, oh Mama, Mama, selelelele. Ale Mama, selelelele. Ale Mama, selelelele. Ale Mama, shekelelele. Ale Mama, selelelele. Ale Mama, selelelele. Ale Mama, selelelele. Ale Mama, selelelele. Ale Mama. Oh, that's so. That's so. Mother's Day. That's so.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to The Horizon, the voice of the Amber Woman. This is my Patience, your host for today. Today we have two great guests, popular mothers of the show. But before I bring them on, I want to remind you that today, September 22nd, is a special day in our history. That is why we are here today also to talk about that day 7 years ago. We'll also be talking about October 1st, 2017, which is another important event that happened 7 years ago. So let me start by thanking all our viewers listening from the home front, from ground one, from all over the diaspora, that we appreciate you. Please, as soon as you join, share the link so others can be part of this very, very important program today. Today I have with us our one and only Dr. Winnie Lobadi, the interim Speaker of the Interim House, and also Ma Emma Endely, the Director of ABC. I welcome you both to The Horizon, the voice of the Amber Woman. And I know this is your home. You're not stranger to this show, to this medium. So welcome to The Horizon. I'll go with you, my Emma, then my Winnie.
Thank you, Mape. By the way, you look great in your red and black. Even though it's morning, you still look very good. Thank you. And we thank God for his blessings. Today we have seen another day. Thank you for inviting me to the Horizon, our special women's program. I need to congratulate those who are working on this program because of their consistency and because they are relevant and always pushing our struggle forward. I thought I should add that before I go into it. I want to welcome all Ambazonians to this program. Please tune in and listen to the voices of some wise women. Listen to what they say and think about it and take it seriously. Thank you, Mape, for welcoming me.
Thank you so much. Dr. Winnie, please. You are not a stranger to The Horizon. I really appreciate that whenever you are opportune, you come and raise your voice here and share your knowledge with our people.
Thank you, my patients. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, my Emma, who happened to be the Director General for ABC Amber TV. It's a privilege to be sharing this platform with all of you ladies and all our viewers, both at home, both on social media, both on ground one, as well as everywhere else in the diaspora, scattered all over the world. Thank you for listening to us and taking to heart what we say. We appreciate you. We don't take your time for granted. And we know that because you are tuning in, we need to be really careful and very intentional with what messages we give to you so that it will be helpful and productive in your lives and for the struggle till we get to Boya. Thank you again.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, ladies. We'll start with the first topic that has to do with September 22nd, 2017. We are doing a flashback. And let's even start with ourselves. I will start with you, my Winnie. September 22nd, 2017. Do you remember where you were, what you were doing on that very, very important day in the history of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia?
Actually, I cannot actually remember exactly where I was, but I think when the images of what was happening on the ground started flooding into social media, and I could see some of those, I would tell you, I went into a deep grief. It was not just the September 22nd, it was the October 1st as well. Those double twin event of massacre. it sent me into a grief. And if you want to know what I did, I was mourning. And in my morning, I prayed. I'm a woman that loves to pray. So I just was asking God what to do. And He gave me some specific instructions of what to do, which led me into a 7 day of prayers. I don't want to go into that detail because there were some other people that helped me with that. We went into a 7 day, if I may say it was a 7 day chain prayer every hour of those 7 days. That was how God got me into getting into it and launched me into being involved in the struggle because I was grieving. I even had a women's conference. I went there and I was still grieving. It was heavy, heavy in my heart.
My Winnie, my Emma, I know you joined the struggle recently, but you probably maybe was part of it or knew something on that fateful September 22nd. Uh, can you share with us if you knew what was going on, if you were part of the struggle at that time? Any information to share with us, please?
Yes, Mape. To tell you the truth, that date does not ring a bell in my mind at all. I was very likely in California, minding my business, working, and because we do not get African news in our current media in the US, there was a total blackout for me. I did not
Mhm.
know anything about this struggle until 2019. Actually, in 2018, when I went to Cameroon for the last time I was there to visit family, one of my cousins, who is a lawyer, mentioned to me that lawyers are on strike, that they are not going to court. It still did not register. I didn't ask why there was a strike. I just thought it was any normal strike because of the kind of conditions that lawyers were facing. It was way back in 2019 when when I got a call from my cousin. She's not even part of the struggle right now. She just called me and said, "Do you know what is happening back home? These are the images." And then I saw the killings. The killings, that was when I got interested and I said, "Gosh, these are my people. All these things are happening in areas that I lived, that I knew, I went to school in, and it was like a rude awakening. It was an aha moment for me. And since then, seriously, I have not looked back because to me, this was a humanitarian crisis. That's the way I looked at it. It was a humanitarian crisis. I could not understand why Biya would declare war on his supposed people. So that was how I got in. So 22nd of September, uh, 2017 did not mean anything to me. But since then, since 2019, I look back at those images and it just keeps getting sadder and sadder. But then I see the strides that the Amazonian spirit has made, and I am encouraged. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. I know I asked both of you the question. Let me answer. Let me say where I was. But before I even say that, let's even remember what happened on September 22nd before the atrocities followed. On September 22nd, the people of Southern Cameroon's Amazonia decided that enough was enough. They wanted La République du Cameroon to leave their territory. They wanted to get full control of their territory. They denounced the occupation of the colonizer La République du Cameroon. So people really went out on the street all over the territory. In every village, in every town, in every city, you had people marching with peace plans. That was epic. If we will probably see some of the images soon. People marching with peace plans. There we go. and they had the Amazonian flag. That showed how our people had taken so much, I had to use the word shit over the years, and they said enough is enough. And they were bold and determined to take ownership of their territory. That same day, look at that. Look at our mothers with peace plans. And to understand that this happened all over our republic, all over what they call Northwest and Southwest, what they call Northwest and Southwest. This movement took place. So we're here to tell people to remember that if we believed then, as the never again generation, that we deserve to have ownership of our land, then it makes sense. Ma Winnie, I want you to talk about these pictures that you see, and then Ma Emma, you follow, please.
To be honest, the boldness and tenacity that our people showed, this was not the first time they came out. Remember, the struggle started in 2016, about October, when the lawyers were on the streets with the teacher, then the consortium, and then La République pretending that they were negotiating with the consortium, and then opened fire and killed a few. There were some demonstration, and then they had the internet cut off in our region for over 3 months, and then the consortium had evolved and came out with Skakuf, and Skakuf was now in place, working, and then we had this announcement. I have to really put it in context, where our people were even asked to go clean. So they had this demonstration, they had to go clean in preparation to celebrate October 1st. So this happened prior to that, about almost a week prior to that celebration, a few days plus to that. So we were excited to see our people really ready, embracing the change and wanting their sovereignty and beginning to understand their identity. This was the beginning of understanding who we were as a people. And so as soon as they understood, they said, oh no, we can't continue in this mess that we've been in, this fake relationship that we consider, which John Lutumbe of blessed memory call it Njumba, married, come, we stay. And he said it was time to let go. We don't want to be in that relationship again. You know, for those people who understand the cycle of an abuser, how they abuse and then keep people and then try to play a little game of kissing up, and then they go back and do the same thing without concrete resolution or transformation. So this was the first step, few steps that our in the early part of the struggle, our people took it upon themselves and said, it is in our hands and we are going to continue. It is actually not something that was imposed on us, but something that is in us and it's rising, because we did not understand our identity. We did not know who we were. We did not know what we had lost. And now that we're coming to that knowledge, we have to embrace it fully. So there was no fear. There was no fear in the hearts. And of course, this is just a slice of a picture, snapshot of one or two areas where you saw the demonstration, but it was all across the Amazonia territory. So beholding that was good, but when we saw the carnage that was eventually poured on the people, and people were dropping down, honestly, up to date, I still do not want to really take a look up close of some of those lives that perish. They're so gruesome and they are so touching. And if you, I know maybe we may have a few, but it is tough to watch. But
It's tough
it
to
is the
watch.
reality we cannot run from. So see our mothers,
Yeah.
commonly known as the Takumbans, the age
Mm-hmm.
mothers, also understood it. Most of them don't have long to live again, but they understood that this was for posterity. Their children and their grandchildren needed this if they had to continue to be a people and live as a people and ensure that their land and territory is not invaded and stolen, and their heritage is not an inheritance, is not slipped or taken away from them. So they came out, and this has a real significant implication to have women out like this, even within our fandoms. The fund would not dare go out in a place where you find women in in protest like this. So this was very, very significant, and of course, and I'm sure many of the people that were sent to come and they were pouring carnage did not understand the significance of this. And I'm sure some of them had some repercussions as a result of them pushing in and probably meeting with some of the Takumbeng women.
Maima, you already told us that you had no knowledge of what was going on. But when you look at all these images and you now understand the significance of that day, what are your thoughts?
Mape, thank you very much. Ma Winnie touched a little bit on it, but in Africa, we have some very deep spiritual beliefs which guide our lives from, posterity, from, our ancestors passed this consents, these traits to us, which we cannot ignore. When I see those women bare their breasts like that, two things come to mind. One, a woman does not just take off her clothes easily. And number
Mhm.
two, the breast is a source of life. A woman cannot see her baby crying and she holds back the milk. It is a God-giving nourishment for the child, for the continuation of life. So you see, when a woman bears her breast like that, she's telling you one thing or two things. One, the children you are killing are hers. They are children she nurtured. They are children she brought into this world, given to her by God. If you are killing her children, you are killing her. And a woman has to protect her child. She has first of all to nurture that child so the child grows. Back home we don't even do milk. If we do milk, it's just a new thing, and it's because of some stressful situations that make the woman's milk refuse to flow. But we concentrate on feeding the babies with just the breast milk, 7 days out of the week, 24/7, 24 hours every day. Now, so you see that breast shows that that woman is telling the world, the enemy, that this is her child you are killing. She nurtured that child on the breast. The next statement that is coming out of that image is that a woman is ready to die to protect her child. You see, these women were making a statement. If you kill her child, you are killing her. So you see, that is the Amazonian spirit. That is why 7 years after, this war is still on. Bia cannot win this war, and because he cannot kill that spirit. You see, that image alone tells our story. I'm not going to add anything to that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you so much. Let me just mention briefly where I was on that September 22nd. So it happened that Siseko Ayutabi, who was then the chairman of the governing council, I think at that time they didn't have interim government yet. It was a governing council. He was going to be a guest here in Los Angeles, so we're here preparing for him. And some of our members even here went to New York because he first was at New York. The United Nations was meeting in September, also like they're meeting right now. So Seseku Ayutabe was there in New York and made a wonderful speech. I don't have access to that speech. And I think during that time, he even mentioned that anybody who tries to derail this struggle, regardless of who that person is, should be kicked under the bus. I think that was one of these comments he made on that day. Anyway, he was there, part of the celebration in New York on this September 22nd, denouncing La Republique's presence in our territory. And then in the evening, he traveled to Los Angeles and we welcome him here again and with his entourage. And I think he came with Milan Atam and one lady, Victorine Buyonga. They all came on that day. Anyway, this is to say that our government has transitioned from one thing to the other. It was a governing council. And then on October 1st, which we're going to talk about, we restored the government of Jua and it became the interim government. Now we're talking about the casualties from both September 22nd and October 1st. I know sometimes when we put very dire, very, very, atrocious looking pictures on our platform, it may be shut down. But if it's possible to show some of the images of what happened, we will appreciate that. The images of people that were killed. I'm just going to read something that I saw in the Amazonia Genocide Library. Then I'll have you guys, both of you, comment. On October 1st, there was a post, the post October 1st carnage. It says, corpses still being fished out of bushes. Over 100 feared dead, scores missing. Thousands sent to await trial. October 1st killing confirms Wiba Frundi Akeremona predictions of genocide. So even there, they started talking about genocide. There it is. That is a post. You can read for yourself. Corpses still being fished. So I don't know if we can still look at that post, please. I like both of you to look at that, and then I would like you to comment on what happened, what you think happened, what you know happened, and this is 7 years after, and we are still where we are, trying to get these people completely out of our land, trying to have the international community recognize us as a people. Over to you, Mawini.
Post, besides what happened to us, I can see two nations reacted immediately: the U.S. and the U.K. Though in their captions, you could see that. But I am so sorry that the the strong messages that they gave to La République at that time, warning them, US warned them, UK reacted. They have kind of pulled back and not calling La République to order or even addressing the carnage that was done, the massacre that was done, and even calling La République or even pressuring La République du Cameroun about a full investigation or even using the tools that they have in their hands. Granted, United Nations General Assembly is ongoing even as we speak. Granted, nobody ever brought up anything to mention that. I think the United Nations has played they've played some kind of I don't want to call it double edged, but kind of they are, I would say they are not honest. They are really they when it comes to issues about Africa, there's a lot of dishonesty about it. For those many lives that perished, for them not to have commented, not to have pressured a formal investigation by the United Nations. If they did, it's in the background and it never came to the forefront. There was never a communique to say, hey, yes, the UN has opened, human rights has opened this. Yeah, granted, different times they have something. But about even the September 22nd and October 1st massacre, they've not really brought any report or anything. And I have a reason that I think, or a reason that I think they were afraid of. France. France, because of their relationship with France, the UK and America, their relationship with France is stronger than their relationship with any African country or all of Africa put together. They would only like Africa for what is called their strategic interests. Yes, that strategic interest, what they do not realize is that massacre in one part of the world, one part of the globe, tolerated, accepted, ignore because it is your friend who is instigating that, also means that tomorrow your friend will instigate that at your front yard, at your backyard, and even in your house. So it's sad that we are sitting here talking about this and we don't see any strong official report, unless there is something out there, my patients, and I haven't seen. But it did not stop us and will never stop us from pushing on and pushing forward with the restoration of our sovereignty as a people, the people of the former British Southern Cameroons, and who gained their independence on October 1, 1961. That was before most of us here maybe were born even. Yes, we grew up even still having a little flavor of that those eras as we saw our parents. But we know that we lost something. I remember when there used to be sanitary inspectors coming through the let me call them quarters or the houses, checking to make sure places are clean. Sanitary inspectors standing at the market as people brought food to make sure that it was properly covered and it was well prepared. All those things disappeared. Anyway, I it's a sad thing we are still talking about this and not yet being in Boya. But we shall never forget and we will not leave this go unheard of. Even when we get to Boya, we'll have a memorial for
Absolutely.
all these massacres.
Maima, when you see those images, what do you think?
Okay, yeah. When I see those images, only two things come to my mind. Um, this is my own take for the reason why the UK, the United Nations, US, everybody is so quiet about this massacre. You know, it took them it took Rwanda 100 people to die, 100,000 people to die before any action was taken. We have already lost 60,000. You know, all those reports that come with 4,000, 6,000, I don't know where they are getting them from. But we who know the facts, we know that we have lost up to 60,000 people. Now, the reason why I think UK especially and the United Nations are not coming out as they should is because UK who was in charge of our territory, was part of the abortion, the independence abortion that happened in southern Cameroon. You know, United Nations had already given us our independence for the first, and UK handed us over to France. They aborted that independence, and that is why this struggle is on today. An abortion took place of our independence, and it falls squarely on the shoulders of United Kingdom. You know, it is as clear as day. If they feel paralyzed and they cannot do anything, even their own people are calling them to accept their mistakes and correct them. You know, and the second thing is that La République, that gained from this jewel, as the UK called us, this jewel that was handed over to La République, they have done everything to change the narrative. They have tried to paint us as terrorists. They have tried everything, but you know, the truth cannot be hidden. As the president said, and he was quoting somebody else, the balloon that was under the water has risen up to the surface. You know, La République has done so much. They have spent so much in trying to kill the narrative. You know, things happen. People are killed only in Amazonian, by the way. They are not killed in La République. But La République makes sure that these images do not go out. Unfortunately for them, since they cannot control what God is already doing, these images are escaping the walls of La République and Ambazonia. People now have their phones and these images are coming out, and they are true images. They even try to say that it was an act, it was a movie they were putting on, but it does not fly. You cannot hide the truth. So you see, and it is still going on. It is still going on, hiding the truth. That is why you see the whole world is so quiet. That is why so many people still do not know about this Amazonian struggle, about the war going on. And I just get so fed up and angry at people who are still calling it crisis. It was a crisis in 2017. 60,000 people have died after that. You are still calling it a crisis? What happened to the word genocide? What happened to the word massacre, which is going on? Come on, people, give me a break. This, you know, when I ever, especially coming from Ambazonians who should know better, saying that a crisis, calling it Anglophone crisis. What happened to the word carnage? What happened to the word massacre? What happened to the word genocide? When you kill 60,000 people, you are still calling it a crisis? When are you going to call it a genocide? Wake up, people. I'm so fed up, really. You know, it just gets me really, really angry because I see my people dying. People are not dying in La République. When they say they don't know who to talk to, who to discuss, who to settle with, the foreign countries say they don't know who to talk to because they are. What do you mean? The people are dying in Amazonia. They are not dying anywhere else. What do you mean you don't know who to talk to? Thank you, Mape.
Thank you so much, Mayama. I hear the passion in your voice. I want to read this, then I'll have you guys just give your closing comment on this topic. I want to read this from the Amazonia Genocide Library that really summarizes exactly what happened during those 2 days. It says, the genocide gathered steam in 2017 as the French Republic of Cameroon deployed more hardware into British Southern Cameroon. Weapons earlier donated to fight Boko Haram in the north of the country found themselves in the territory. The French Cameroon appointed governors instituted more repressive measures. Peaceful demonstrations were increasingly becoming deadly. The territory was becoming the killing fields of British Southern Commons. As the repression continued, citizens of the territory began asking themselves why they were being treated differently as demonstrations by teachers and other civil servants in French Cameroon were not met with similar high handedness. To put it in historic terms, there was a reawakening in British Southern Commons led by a vibrant diaspora. The outcome was a general demonstration all over the territory by its citizens with green tree branches as a sign of peace on the 22nd of September 2017 and 1st of October 2017. Their chant, in addition to "Let my people go," was "No violence." However, as inferior humans or dogs, as the French colonial governor calls them, the police, French paramilitary, gendarmes, BS personal military, the B, undercover officers and regular armies unloaded their magazines on the innocent civilians. The results were chilling. Many were killed indiscriminately. Below are some of the victims killed. No independent investigation was ever done. Another abandonment by global community and thus and message to the French Cameroon authorities that British Cameroonians were worthless, filth good for the dump. The green light for a full-scale genocide was given by the war. The only credible investigation so far conducted on the killings on these days has been that of former opposition Southern Democratic Front Party leader, Mr. Weber Joseph. He states 122 killed, 150 missing, and around 2,000 deliberately maimed. So this is the excerpt that I read in the genocide library, the Ambazonia Genocide Library. And I really ask people to just go back from time to time and look into this. When you look into it and you look at those images, which Mawini has already talked about, sometimes you don't even want to look. You cannot even look at them. Sometimes you just flash through because they are so heart-wrenching. They are so heartbreaking. And you wonder, how could something like this happen in a part of the country where you come from, where at one time when you were living there, you thought that this was the most peaceful place on earth. And this, what I just read, has given us insight that when people are considered dogs and cockroaches, then there's grounds for genocide because they are not human beings worthy of life. I'll have you both comment briefly on that so that we can move to the next topic. And we'll probably just have to light a candle before we move to the next topic. So your closing comments on this particular subject. Mawini, you can go first.
Thank you. When I also looked at the posts, some of the captions on that post paper of that day talked about African something rights, talked about the Canadian model for the Anglophones, that they should go into a Canadian model. It's interesting that while they were talking about expert recommend Canadian model as a solution, expert as a solution to the crisis, they were still calling it a crisis. African Network of Rights Defender puts death toll, whatever that death toll. And if you look at the caption, that caption was all littered with, let me put it, blood, 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 blood. But as our people's blood was spilled on the ground, it's sad that there was a lot of talk, a lot of speculation by the international community, but little action. We, sons and daughters who were born in that part of the world, while we are now diasporans and with nationalities in different parts of the world where we've been welcomed, we cannot see our land actually just desecrated with the blood of our children innocently and say that it is okay. We should just go and have some Canadian model. Oh, yeah, we can go have some Canadian talk with a few people of who you don't know where they are and what they are, and people mushrooming organizations every now and then and going to sign some deal with La République in Canada, claiming that that is the voices of the people. The blood of all these people that spilled on the ground that day will speak and speak against anyone who is ready and plan or has already taken money from La République to manipulate and change the narrative of what the people of Amazonia want, which is their total independence and sovereignty, not just some quasi relationship in a nation that has no respect of law. They really don't have a constitution because their constitution is whatever their president says, and even their courts and their judges are not independent, with a lot of corruption. We cannot be part of that corrupt, putrid um, government called La République de Cameroon, the regime of Mr. Biya, and take gloss over the blood that has been spilled on our land as though it's nothing. Therefore, I may appeal to our people, hold your peace. I can tell you, I will never touch a dime or a penny of any blood money. I will speak and say what is right and what is correct and what is true, because the blood that has spilled on the ground is not a blood that would go without its voice crying out of that ground for vengeance, for vengeance. Therefore, every one of you who call yourself Amazonians, sitting in some dark rooms or in some so-called quarters and holding meetings and taking money and exchanging, you are to be forewarned. The blood of each one of those that has been spilled will come after you and your family.
Wow. Yes, Madam Speaker, I can feel the venom in you as a mother. Let those who have ears hear. Mayema.
Yeah, Martha, I have very little to add to what Ma Winnie has said. She has said it all. My own take is, people, those people who started this struggle, who were really honest at the beginning, who were arrested, locked up, and made deals and sold their souls and their bodies so that they could come out and are singing a different tune altogether right now. I think those are the people whom I really am addressing this to. Whatever you think you are doing, Ambazonia was handed over to La République on the 30th of September 1960. It is not going to happen again. We are wiser and we see everything. We see you. God has given us the wisdom to see everything that you are doing behind the scenes, and God is busy exposing all of you guys. If you are not coming into this struggle with all your heart and with honesty, and tell the world, show the world that you are really fighting for your people, then just stay away and be quiet. But do not come to try and deceive Ambazonians a second time. This is 62 years later. You are still up to the same tricks, La République, and you are still being let yourself be manipulated by La République with all this everyday plan and planning and planning, when they know the right thing is that there will be a negotiation between two governments, La République and the Federal Republic of Amazonia. That is the only deal that Amazonians deserve. That is the only deal that all the 60,000 people who have lost their lives on on this useless struggle ordered by Paul Biya. That is the only thing that is going to save this. We are not the only ones dying right now. The game has changed, but we are not going to settle for anything less. This is it. Our blood, the blood of our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren who have been killed, our mothers, our fathers who are being killed, our young girls who are being raped and killed, it is not going to go in vain. Total independence and no other manipulations in the background controlled by Dion Gute trying to save his skin to survive in La République and to carry people with him. It is not going to work. We have been deceived one time. 30th of September, they said the first fool is fool. The second fool is proper fool. We are not going to be proper fools again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maema. While you were speaking, the image that was projected is so endearing. It shows how there was one of our son's cups covered with an Amazonia flag. It shows our people marching and saying Happy Independence Day. And then it shows on a mother who had been shot and is carried by a relative, a mother, because of what is going on. So our people braved the times and were awakened to a new day. And 7 years down the road, we are now fighting for international recognition because we have already declared our state restored, our independence restored. What we are fighting for now is international recognition. As Pastor Commando would say, we're fighting to be recognized as the 55th nation in Africa. So that picture, as we end here, would like you people in the home front to have this picture in your mind. That flag, the white, blue flag with the yellow stars, the picture of those walking on 7 years ago. Those were the people that had the vision. Some of them are probably dead now, but the dream continues till we
Yeah,
completely
Mate,
have.
and you see, sorry, I'm not interrupting you, but you see,
It's okay.
these are some of the things that La République is using to kill us and to keep this whole thing quiet. They arrest people. Our leaders are still in jail. They arrest indiscriminately. They still do their kale, which has been going on for over 60 years, where they just arrest a group of people, throw them in jail. Some of them, they kill them and throw them in mass graves. All
Yeah.
this is happening, and we all know that. And then the fear, harassing people all over the world that they are going to come for them, they are going to arrest them, putting a list at the Douala airport to arrest all the activists, people who are outside struggling, trying to kill the existing government in exile. And there's nothing new about a government in exile. Amazonia has a government in exile, and that is why this struggle is still alive. And until La République negotiates with this government in exile, it is nothing is going to stop. And you see, the more they kill us, the more they try to suppress us, the louder we get. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you so much. So we're going to be ending this part of the conversation and go to the next topic. But we want to just light a candle for those who've gone, because Today is 7 years since September 22nd, 2017. We want to remember the fallen. We want to remember our ARFs that have been defending the homeland and that have fallen. And as Mawini said, every single drop of blood that has been shed will be compensated for, because when we get our land, they will be remembered through a memorial that will be built on their behalf. And anybody who has been instrumental in causing the demise of our people, if not punished by man, will be punished by God. So with that said, I want to light a candle, and Mawini, I'm going to ask you to just give us a short prayer as we end this portion of this part of the broadcast today on the horizon.
Heavenly Father, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, you are the judge, the righteous judge of every spirit and flesh. We thank you because as we remember those whose lives and destinies were cut short prematurely because of the wickedness of a regime put in place by Mr. Paul Biya, we say, Lord, let their blood as it cries, just like the blood of Abel was crying before you day and night, until you spoke to the brother, until the blood of Jesus came to atone. I pray that their blood will stand before you and even in your own court of justice. And let a righteous judgment be passed and let it be executed, because you've already written that. And we say, comfort the hearts of the families whose loved one perished prematurely because they stood for the truth of their nation and they were patriotic to the nation of the people of Amazonia. I pray that you will comfort them. The pain is still there, but comfort them, provide for their needs. And those who are being threatened and being harassed so they will keep quiet, I pray give them a voice out that will speak on their behalf. But as mothers this day, as we come pleading and crying that all this blood that has been wasted, let not a drop of it go unheeded. Let it not go. Let the international community as well remember, and let them come to the aid of the people of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, and let them come. I pray, give our people tenacity to stay engaged and the stamina to remain engaged so that they will not give up. No matter all the tricks of La République du Cameroon and their government, the tricks of whosoever may have received bribes from La République du Cameroon and France so that they can stay quiet and they can turn a blind eye, I pray that they will, on their bets, not have a free conscience unto they speak what is right and just. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
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 Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to transition to the next topic. The next topic is a great build up from what we just talked about. The next topic has to do with the interim government versus SPCP. People are probably wondering what the heck is SCPC. SCPC stands for Southern Cameroon's People Conference. Southern Cameroon's People's Conference. You know, the interim government has had quite a few conferences since this struggle started. In 2017, I don't remember anyone then because I was not really part of the government. But in 2018, they had AAC1 in Washington, D.C. At that time, President Sako was the leader because they had already adopted Siseko. And then after that, the first one was our conference in Belgium, AAC1, and then AAC2 in Washington, D.C. In 2021. And then now we're seeing quite a few conferences by people that are not part of this interim government. If you're an interim government, you're a government for the people, for all the people. So if we follow the structures from SCACUF to governing council to, well, I should say from consortium to governing to SCACUF to governing council to interim government, then that's the build-up leading to the creation of the interim government. Why do we have all these other groups out there that are not part of the interim government, that have a different agenda? So SCSP stands for Southern Cameroon's People Conference. The question is, who are behind Southern Cameroon's People's Conference? Who are those individuals behind this group? And I understand that it was first called AAC, which is All Ambazonia Conference, and then they changed the name to Southern Cameroon's People's Conference. I mean, AAC would have been better for me because it's All Ambazonia. When you are an Ambazonian, you are an Ambazonian. But when you are a Southern Cameroonian, you can be anything. You could be a federalist, a unionist, or whatever. That is from Southern Cameroons. So they've changed the name from AAC, which is All Ambazonian, which makes you believe that, oh, they are Ambazonians. Even if they are faking, they change it to Southern Cameroon's People Conference. Let me give some background and then I'll have you guys, ladies, talk about this group. When you look at some of their communiques, they're planning this conference in Canada in October 5th to October 8th. And if you look at what they've done leading to this conference that they have planned, there's a lot of information. So it looks like, well, it's not even it looks like. This is what happened. In March of 2023, you had, and pardon me that I have to call some of these names that we don't want to hear, but I have to call the names so that we understand the craftiness, the deceit that is happening in the background. You had a meeting between Chris Ano, ROA, and ROA would be Cheps, Mawininos. There was a meeting with Chris Ano, ROA, IPOA, Governing Council, and AAC 2003 organizers to discuss conferences, concerns, and modalities. The meeting was called by SCNC and facilitated by CDN. Yes. And then April 15, 2023, the Southern Cameroon's People Conference team met virtually and in the Middle East to discuss collaboration with AAC 2023. So they're getting things mixed up. They have their name SCPC and then they have AAC so it's like the same people. And then they say the leaders of SCNC, IG, Consortium, and AGOFC expressed their deep appreciation to the comrades in Atlanta for their recommendation looking forward to their next consultative meetings. Then, and just bear with me, I'll just read two more things, then I'll have you ladies speak. Saturday, July 2023, As part of their SCPC pre-conference consultations, a meeting was held with the executives of Southern Cameroons Association in Germany to consult and discuss the vision of SCPC. The meeting provided an opportunity for frank conversation about the state of the struggle and the need for synergy. And then on August 1st, 2023, not too long ago, the meeting on August 1st, 2023, Southern Cameroons Association in Germany unanimously agreed to mobilize Germany to participate at the SCPC. The decision was communicated by the chair of SCA Germany. And then they have plans for future meetings. And then they have all these communiques that you people will talk about. But there's something in the background that I want to bring to your attention. This word, there's another acronym, SCSP, Southern Cameroon Stakeholder Platform. That is a group that is led by Fontem Neba that has been having meetings, like they used to have their periodic meetings and people go and talk about their different visions. And Maggie is part of this. Then there's another group called Southern Cameroons Alliance. And Maggie is the vice president. I don't know who the president is. I have to look that up. Then there's another group called All Ambazonia, DAC, Diaspora Ambazonia Community. So you have all these acronyms all over the place. And these are all the people that are engaged, working together to have a meeting in Canada, facilitated by Coalition for Dialogue and Negotiation. The most important one in terms of the key leaders, you have, and these are the people that went and signed that so-called document that we saw early this year that Canada is dialoguing with. That La République du Cameroun is dialoguing with Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, and it's happening in Canada, and Canada is facilitating it. So you have names like Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, Lucas Cho Ayaba, I'm not going to even say doctor, as just said Lucas Cho Ayaba, Dabney Yeremia, John Baakuru, and Emmanuel Taylor. So these are the people signing this other document from March 2023 about the All Ambazonia Conference, which is now changed to Southern Cameroon's People's Conference to take place in Canada. I've said a lot. Mawini, I'll start with you. What is your take on this?
Thank you. Before I say something, there's a lot that you have said that we have to soak in. A lot of acronyms, a lot of alphabet soup that is going on and playing on here. But before I do so, I think your producer was getting ready to give us some announcement and transition. Mr. Producer, can you do that before I go ahead and talk, if you're ready?
Fellow Ambazonians,
Give me the freedom.
Saturday, the 23rd of September 2023. All roads lead to Menchum. Menchum is a great and strategic county in Ambazonia. And what is happening this day is the draft tour. Our caravan will be in Menchum this Saturday, the 23rd of September at 8 p.m. Ambazonia time. I want to invite all supporters of Menchum, all sons and daughters of Menchum, in the diaspora and in the home front, all members of government and all IHR representatives, including all the local government and county officials in Ambazonia. You are all welcome to Menchum. Let us draft for our ARFs that have been picking up steam and doing a lot of things. They are fired up. Want to give them the support they need. I invite all of us to gather and let's make Menchum great again. So extend this message to the onlookers, to those standing on the sideline, to those who who are fired up like we are, share this message to every Ambazonian. Tell them it is time for action. Those that want a free nation, they must pay a down payment today. They must make a sacrifice today. That is the truth about other countries, and I will not be different for Ambazonia. I look forward to welcoming you. God bless you, and God save our country.
Okay, thank you. I am back. I hope my sound is going through. My patience prior to us having the transition announcement. I hope you had your bottle of water, you had your water, you used the restroom, and you sat down waiting to hear. There's a lot of alphabet soup that my patients just named. I wanna put in a little story here before I even delve into it. If you are a child and you were sent somewhere, which is very common in our culture, to go live with somebody, some friend or some person that they think that person can help you because your parents may not be able in their what they have to better your life. And when they send you there and you go live in that community with the person and you're being maltreated and you go back to what you think is your parents and they kind of maybe beat you up and send you back to go there and not listening to you, you will be a child torn and not really knowing where you belong. You will not know your identity, you will not know who you belong to, and you will be tossed, and maybe you will find yourself wandering around as a vagabond because you don't really know where you fit. I am sorry to say this, as a people, once we understood our identity, what we had lost, as a as Ambazonians or Southern Cameroonians or former British Southern Cameroons or the British Cameroons, as it was supposed really to have been, because that included the North and the South part. Then, once we understood, by understanding who we were, what was stolen from us, we would have been a stronger team and a stronger bond to get us to fight as a single force. Unfortunately, that has not been the case. And why has it not been so? La République. I remember I mentioned the Njumba marriage and the abuser, the cycle of the abuser. La République understands that if they can fragment us into little pieces, little names, I'm not talking about grassroots mobilization. Fragment us and and give some people a voice that they don't have, that otherwise they would not have been able to have in a platform somewhere, and make them look that important. All you need to do is take a few names that you know and a few people that think that the Amazonian people in at the home front really know and can remember, and you fragment other Ambazonians and put them in these little groups and make them start doing things, and it looks like something is happening. Then guess what? It will really be what La République said. There are so many people and so many groups, and we don't know who to talk to. While some of those people you are associating with in some of these smaller groups and so-called conferences already have been compromised and have taken money. Some of them have, and some of them are already compromised. So you bring all these groups and you say, hey, don't you see? We have the majority. We have all the small groups. We've been able to galvanize. I will tell you, the biggest and the greatest um, perpetrator of atrocity on the ground at home front by Ambazonian against Ambazonia is none other than AGOVC ADF on the ground in our territory. Known, a collaborator with La République, well known. It is well known. It is understood. And they put threats and they put fear on the ground to get our people go through all this suffering so that they can give up. La République, the enemy, La République de Cameroon, and even France, they have their advisor. They are not using one strategy. They don't have one that when they start going on this place and when they hit their heads, then they will turn and go. No, they're coming from different angles. One of the angles is to bribe, corrupt, pay some of us to destroy us internally. And if I may appeal, some of you look at the interim government of the people of Amazonia, and you think that it is President Sarko's property. No, it's not. It is not President Sarko's property. At this moment, he is at the helm of leadership. It doesn't mean that he will stay at that helm of leadership. He might take us into Amazonia depending on how long this struggle ends in the diaspora, or he might not be. The government might change. When you are in a battle and in a struggle, you don't keep changing captains unless that captain is wounded, sick, and out. If he's a good captain leading you to for victory and he's doing the right things. Why most of these alphabet soup, let me call them those acronyms, alphabet soups, really, if you look at the strong man in that group, is Mr. Cho Ayaba.
Yeah.
Lucas Cho Ayaba. If he doesn't have it, then nobody has it. And then he cannot bow. We had Team Ambazonia. They were the ones that helped to destroy Team Ambazonia somehow, in some ways, and including people that were solo groups that they consider themselves groups, but they were solo or two members. And so they have done, and they have multiplied those kinds of groups again and put them and bring them under this conference to give the fact that it's a broad base. But let me tell you, the true broad-based Amazonia structure that we have is the interim government, because you have the grassroots LGAs, you have the counties, and then you have the zones, and then you have the federal structure. At each level, you can mobilize, you can strategize, and it flows up, and the federal government is at the final stage. Granted, let's be honest, the federal government doesn't even handle a lot of the money of the Amazonian people as we are these days. It is really at the grassroots levels, the LGAs and the county, that most of this our resources are being used and are being raised. So what is the problem? Why can you guys in the alphabet soup, let me call you that, all those of you in this alphabet soup, why are you trying to mimic ASSC conference? We had ASSC, Amazonia Stakeholder Strategic Conference. We had one in Berlin. Most of you were there because you couldn't have the power you wanted. You decided. We had ASSC too because Mr. Kometa and the fake groups that considered and a fake impeachment with to remove President Sarko without evidence, because you did not like President Sarko. You faked things so that you could get him out. That is not helping us. That is not. You are looking as an individual and rather than looking at the institutions. Please, Ambazonians, pay no heed to all this ASPC, AS, whatever, how the alphabet soup may come. There is one interim government. That interim government is led by President Sarko, and he is doing a lot of things diplomatically in the background. And because most of you destroyed some of it, he decided to stay a little more quiet. You don't hear what La République is doing, how they are bribing. But I've spoken too much. Ma Emma. take over.
Yes, I just have a little bit to add to what you have said because you have said it all. We have an African proverb that when you see a chicken
Oh,
dancing in the middle of the road, you have to know that there's a drummer somewhere in the bush beating the drums for it to be dancing. Yeah, as Mape asked, who are the people sponsoring? Who are the people behind this alphabet Zoom, as you put alphabet soup or Zoom, as you put it? Both names can fly. You know, um, who are the people in control? Of course, it is La Republique. You know, it is just amazing what bribery can do, because these people have been bribed so much that they cannot even see the writing on the wall. They went to Canada. They said they had it was a conference and blah blah blah. Cameroon government refused them, rejected them, embarrassed them, including the Canadian government. They are still hanging somewhere. Somebody is still telling them another story, still beating the drum, and they are still dancing in the middle of the streets. How long, people, will you have? I'm sure the money keeps coming. That is why the dancing goes on and the drum continues, you know. But Ambazonians, you are wiser. I have so much confidence in my people, and I love your faith in your interim government. It might take some time to convince the others, but those who are really genuine, who have seen what this interim government stands for, I doff my hat for you. And one of the examples I give you is ABC. ABC is owned by Ambazonians. It is owned by the people. If I'm not here tomorrow, ABC is still going to be owned by Ambazonians, and somebody who can will just take over the mantle, and it will keep going. Now, if Chris Anu's television, if something happens to Chris Anu tomorrow, what is going to happen to ABS? That is the difference, Ambazonians, that you have to see and see clearly. The all the institutions are there. MAPE is in charge of the women's department. Go and see the work they do. If MAPE is not there tomorrow, another Ambazonian is going to step in. That is what is called an interim government. It is run
absolutely.
by the people. It is owned by the people, and every decision we make is for the people. You see, with the ABC, all your equipments are registered under ABC. You are the ones funding ABC right now. You are the ones paying the little stipends we give for all these people who are sacrificing so much time and work, who are really working to keep ABC alive for you. You are the people supporting ABC. ABC belongs to you. So, Ambazonians, you own a government. It is this government that will negotiate with La Republique, because this government is for the people, is by the people. Okay? Thank you very, very much. That is all I have to say for today.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much, Ma.
Mape.
You've given a great position of what the interim government is, so that people should understand that it's the government for the people, by the people, you know, for the people, of the people. I have a caller on the line who wanted to call about the previous topic, but she called earlier. I didn't get her call. I missed it. So I'm going to put her on the line. Let me put her on speaker. She wants to talk about the topic we had previously, just to give us hope. Ruth, you're on the Horizon, the voice of the Amber Woman. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Mapi, and all the well-meaning Ambazonian women there, Mawini and Maema. I am so happy because you brought up this day in history, which actually marks so much meaning in the lives of Ambazonian as a whole, and which have triggered a lot of pains in our hearts. And our people are still wondering why and what did they commit to to be facing all these atrocious and malicious acts into their life. So I just want to add on to what have been said, that in any dictatorial regime, the dictatorial regime will never want its minority people to enjoy their territorial integrity in peace. So I want to talk to our people to understand that all the manipulation that are being done is because of La Republic who declared a war on us. So our people should understand that today the regime want that it should stop. It will stop. He is the caller of it, and he can remove his troop at any moment. And whatever is happening is with his co-conspirators. They are all witnessing it. We have the co-conspirators who are France, Britain, and United Nations. They are watching what is taking place and the genocide. And they are the ones to say stop to this, and it will be stopped with immediate effect. So our people should understand this. And in our history, if we go down memory lane, we see that what happened with SDF, that we see Wasiri that was pulled out, Kawala that was also pulled out, and also Ben Muna that was pulled out and sponsored by the government. Is the same thing that is being transpired. That will have multiplication of some people claiming that they are whatsoever is the regime in order to muddy the water and present a face so that the people should think that there is nobody to talk about. But if we resist, because this is about our territorial integrity, it's not about anything. Thank you so very much, and bye for now.
Thank you so much for that comment. We really appreciate you
Thank you,
calling.
Maru. Thank you.
Thank you, Maru.
Yes. So before she called, we're talking about this alphabet soup that both of you have so intelligently talked about. And I just want to really list the alphabet soups so that people really know what these are. These are probably people that have one man, maybe a one-man show or two people show or even three people show, and they call themselves a group. You already said, Mawini, that the one that is there spearheading all the evils on the ground is EGOFC. So these are the stakeholders of the Cameroon's stakeholders platform. And these are the people that are planning this Southern Cameroon's People's Conference. They're all in it. You have EGOFC, ADF. You have AMF. So some of these names, you're going to wonder, what are they doing on the ground? So when you get the name, think of what they are doing on the ground. Are they a plus or a negative for our restoration? You have Marine Forces. Who are Marine Forces? You have Qui Force. Who are the Qui Force? You have Bui Unity Warriors. Who are the Bui Unity Warriors? You have Seven Kata. Who are Seven Kata? You have Manu Unity Warriors. Who are Manu Unity Warriors? You have Psalms 91. You have Ndonga Unity Forces. You have DAC, which is Diaspora, I cannot even say, Diaspora Ambazonia Community. You have WCA, which is West Cameroonian Association. That one is headed by Wiba. You have SCAF, which is all those who are called the activists. That's the activists, their own group. You have IG Care, which is Seseko. You have Consortium, which is Baakuro. You have SCNC, which is Cometa. You have Scope, SCCOP, which is Atam Milam. I don't know who else is heading it. You have AIPC, I forgot the leader. You have Global Takumbung, which is Diamagi. You have CHRI, which is Nwana, Judy Nwana. You have SKEW. Mawin, you may have to help me with the leaders of SKEW. SCYC.
The leaders of SKEW, okay.
the skew and the scour, which is probably Eleanor Higgin. You have APOW and IPOA. So these are the alphabet soups that are convening, that are planning together with uh, Ebenezer, one thing I noted, I didn't even see APLM on this, although it's on their letterhead that they are planning this conference. We're talking about the interim government versus SCPC. We are saying that all these people that are part of these so-called stakeholder groups that are convening or planning to convene in Canada, what are they really doing in the home front to liberate us? Let's ask that question. Are they doing anything that augments us, that makes us more known to the international community, that frees our people from the burden? Or are they doing things that dehumanizes us, that harms us, that kills our people? These are the questions we should be asking ourselves. And when you say Southern Commons, remember I said that there's a key player behind this. Fontaine Neba, please never forget this. Fontaine Neba is a federalist. And Mawini, you remarked something very, very brilliantly when you looked at that post that was placed when we were showing about September 22nd, when they remarked that maybe Canada, the structure of Canada should be visited as a solution. It looks like full cycle. It's like full cycle because that's where they're all heading, to Canada. And Fontaine Neba is the engineer behind all this, working with Coalition for Dialogue and Negotiations. Our people, don't be deceived. I'll let you ladies talk about this, and then we'll round up to October 1st preparation.
Again, bringing my analogy of the child that is tossed back and forth, doesn't really know their identity, then anybody who shows you a little bit of, okay, I'll wait. There's an announcement.
No, you can speak.
Okay. Anybody who shows you any little bit of so-called kindness, and you as a child may not be able to understand their motive and their intent, you will take that little kindness, which may be a bait, as though this person has showed me some kindness. And so I will follow that person blindly. Remember, when the Swiss-led process collapsed, as we know it, everybody, what did they do? They ran to Canada. That's when you had the AGOVC running there, because then now the interim government pulled back, stood now, and was looking and looking at the whole picture of what was happening. La République. So what did La République do? They created a fraction and a faction within the interim government, using the Mariantas, using the Chris Anu to fragment us some more, so as to make it look like we are not weighty as we are. But when you understand your identity, it doesn't matter who tells you what you are, you will stand firm. And then they went there with some of the so-called Restoration Council. I remember there was Uncle B in there, and some of those people that went to Canada. They came out with some resolutions that they never published. If they were bold and strong and understood that they were for the people, why did they not publish those resolutions? Because they had their backdoor deals. In as much as we don't really like Capo Daniel, because he too has been fragmented, because I think La République is getting ready to spit out maybe Choayaba, or is getting ready to multiply the Choayaba's group. Capo Daniel gave us a little bit of that insight. They spoke with somebody in La République, and he said he wanted to. And so we understood that money were changing hands with La République and some of the members there, and some of them went blindly. But what am I saying? There is a deception, and in that deception, you have, oh my goodness, okay, you guys will have to be quiet. You have deception happening, and then you also have and most of it is being played by La Republique. The international community, let me be frank with you, if we do not put pressure, it is easier for them to say, hey, this is the easy way out. We'll just let it go and let's put a band-aid over this artery that is oozing blood, and maybe after a while it will calm them down. And while you need to be in the operating room and having a trauma surgeon handle what needs to be handled, but they just want to put a quick band-aid. And if they have family members that are around this sick person that needs the trauma surgeon say, oh, a band-aid will be okay, let's just do the band-aid and move on, they will probably not do anything. So guess what, Amazonians, be wise. You heard the names of all the alphabet soup. Some of them you don't even know them. Some of them don't even exist because it's one person that went and registered. For your information, it is easy. Once you register a so-called not-for-profit organization in most of the European countries, because they are socialist, government is bound to give you money because you have that organization. So some of them are there for whatever money they can get from the governments that they are registered in the nations that they are. So it becomes something for their own interest. Granted, I would not say every one of them is that evil in the heart and at the core. Some are deceived, some are evil because some are the foundation and the inner core member that know the game that they are playing for the money. They are playing to get whatever they can get from La Republique, because they look, some of them think, I don't think I have any more time again, I better get what I can get out of this. So you have that deception. Be patriotic, Amazonians. Look at your interim government and stay connected to your interim government. Plug into your LGAs and make sure that as you support your LGAs, there will be many people that will come by with different groups, with different stuff. They're all part of the alphabet soup, and they are just asking that band-aid be put over a major trauma that needs a trauma surgeon.
Thank you so much. Maema, before I get to you, we have a caller on the line. Maema, let me just get this caller and then I'll get to you. We have a caller on the line. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, good morning, doctor.
Good morning, UN.
I greet Ma Indele and Dr. Lubati for all the education you people are giving to our people. I just want our people to also understand that La Republique is afraid to discuss with us as a country and as a government. So that is the reason why they keep mounting, going back and forth with all those groups. We know that Fontaine Niba, there is also Noel Ebini, Noel Ebini and Kometa, who are receiving the directives from Ayuk Tabe from prison. Those are the people spearheading all this kind of stuff. You see, when we were in Switzerland, we were there like a government. La Republique tried to no avail. They came out and they sabotaged. They said La Republique did not give them any notice of a commitment. So what happened is that they passed through the Kometa and the Noel Ebini to try to hijack the interim government, to give it to Chris Anu, to give it to Marianta. So they knew that Marianta cannot keep the secret of whatever thing they were going to do. That's why they gave her only 4 months or 6 months. So that Chris Anu will come up and then take the interim government as he took it, then downgrade it into a group, and then became a comrade. So as soon as he became a group, La Republique said, okay, this is now the opportunity. Now all those groups now gathered in Canada and negotiated with La Republique, negotiated with groups, people controlling fighters. The Capo Daniel, they can testify, and they sign and surrender for a special status. Because La Republique did not want it to go into archives, into history, that they met and negotiated with Amazonians. That is why La Republic came and said, I did not assign anyone to negotiate with Ambazonia. Remember, the La Republic foreign minister, they call him Lejeune Belambela. He was in Canada. He went to Canada, met the prime, that lady. All of them, they took pictures and all the rest. And Marianta, they said they removed her from it because she took pictures of the Republic representatives and published them out there. So when the Republic came out and said, I did not mandate anyone to negotiate between Ambazonia and this. Remember, Kanto said they don't want to see us with uniforms and this. So the Republic negotiated with groups. That is the reason why they are still mounting different groups to go there and negotiate. All what they are trying to do is to ensure that someone, at least one person from the interim government should be amongst them so that they will say, okay, all of them, they have negotiated. But now, how can this thing stop? This thing can only be stopped by Ambazonians because Ambazonians are the one putting the flames to all these people, giving them powers. You say you are a country with a government, but you keep listening to individuals, people who meet the promise, fake promises, firepower. Now, you must say independence is abstract, Ambazonia is abstract. Chris Anu said there's no flag because there's no country like Ambazonia. He's calling for a referendum. He's saying he's not a government, he's a group and whatsoever. So the moment our people will stop attending all these meetings, all these conferences, listening to the ADF or people who don't put anything on the ground, people who promise $1 million donors, they promise hurricane and nothing. When our people stop listening to them, La Republic will automatically cease. But if we continue to go, they make a conference, people go there 15, 20, 15, 20. What is the purpose? They don't even have refugees, not prisoners, not even giving material to fighters. But when the fighters complain that they don't have anything, that is when they turn to the interim government. They say, oh, President Sako did not give material, And then when there is something to share on the table, all of them are rushing to the table. 32 years, what have they brought? Nothing. So our people should stop saying that they are confused, they don't know what is. We are a country with a government. Go to the LGA and your country. The Republic is attacking us as a country. The Republic attacked Nigeria with Bakassi as a country. They did not go there. Frundi did not go there with his vanguard to go and fight Nigeria over Bakassi. The other people did not go. They went there like a country. So that is it. So let us meet tomorrow for the mentioned draft.
Amen.
Thank you, benefit of wisdom.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, UN. Thank you. Bye. Okay, you heard UN, Maema. He said he made a lot of great points. But go ahead, Maema.
Yes. Thank you, Comrade UK. We always have a lot of information from you whenever we read what you say or you tell us a few things. And all what you say is really true. It just goes on to emphasize what we have been talking about. I think basically, I just want to say that La République has never negotiated in good faith in any of the things that they have discussed with us. They started with special status. Even before then, they said they were going to make it English and French. Everything that they have done has been in bad faith because they have been lying. They do not deliver. They do not go on with all the promises. See how long they planned to build the Transworld transit from Nigeria, from our Nigeria border to southern Cameroon border. I think it's Gabon or they never did. They have never done anything that they have promised. That is why I do not understand. I think the only reason I see for this is that as long as they keep dishing out the money, and unfortunately that money is being stolen from our area. It is money that is coming from Sonara. It's money that is coming from from Bakassi. It is money that is coming from our timber with Frank Beer as the sole proprietor. So all the money that they are using to bribe us Amazonians is money that is coming from our territory. And you see, as long as they have these monies to give, they keep fooling our people that they are going to negotiate this federalism, no, special status, no, and they keep going. Our people keep going. So Ambazonians, the only thing I would tell you is shine your eyes. All these people who have been compromised, you know them. We are going to continue exposing them to you as God gives us, as the Holy Spirit gives us the wisdom. Let me tell you the truth. The president, President Sako, is the only one standing who has not been bribed, and it is not because they have tried. They have not tried. They have tried to kill him. They have tried to spoil his reputation. They have accused him of everything that you can think of in this world, of stealing, of everything. They have not come up with anything. So now you should know by now, you know, Egg of C, we know for sure that he works with La République. It is not even a secret. Their own people, Colonel Banqui said it. You know, their own people have testified. They have exposed all these people, but they keep receiving the monies as the monies are coming. So they are keep going to be dancing to that drum. But Amazonians, you have to be wise, and you have to know who your enemy is. There's only one person fighting against your enemy right now, and that is the IG, the interim government, which is under Sako now, and all the institutions that have been put in place. That is your government. Stick with your government. Go to your local government areas, build your local government areas, because when we reach Boya, the way we are going to manage the country will be through the local governments. It's going to be a government from the grassroots up, not up down. We are not going to be doing decrees. You, the people, you are going to decide what you need to be done in your areas, and the government will do that. Will do it and respect everybody. Every human being will be respected. Human rights will be respected. And as the president said yesterday in the Pigeon News interview, corruption will be wiped out. So stick with your interim government. That is your last hope. And we are not going to give up on you, because we know that if we do, Amazonia will be wiped out. The former British Southern Cameroons will not exist anymore if this fight fails. So fight for your country, fight for your land, fight for your territory, and draft and draft and draft. 2 weeks ago, 56 down, 56 Ekelebes down. Do not give up. Draft and draft. Mention is tomorrow. Let's see over there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma Emma. We're going to be going to the last phase, and I will just have Ma Winnie just talk briefly about October 1st preparation, because we need to end the show and get into the Zoom meeting that is on the way. October 1st preparation is really on the way. We just have 1 week to go, or well, not really. We have about 1 week, right?
1 week.
9 days,
Correct.
1
almost.
week, yes. Yes.
Actually, less
So
than 9 days, because
yes,
today is the 22nd, and on the 30th, we'll have the UN Day, the
yes.
Southern Cameroon United Nations Day, that will be celebrated. And it's not, the celebration is actually, I don't think the president intended it to be festive. It's probably more to remind the United Nations and the world of what they did, how they dropped the ball when it came to Southern Cameroons at its independence. So that is probably what is going to entail more on September 30th. That is also the day that the Queen's government handed the um, emblems or entities that were supposed to have been handed to Jonguk, the premier of Southern Cameroon. They handed it to Haijo government, and they did a lot of things in the background, even as far back as some of these things were happening between the British High Commissioner in their embassy in Yaoundé and La République government, and we were kept out in the dark. I mean, the British Southern Cameroons were kept in the dark. So literally, we were being sold, and the French people said, "Un petit cadeau" that the Queen had given, and they called us um, um, a treasure trove. And really, we are a treasure trove, but we were handed to the wrong hands. And then on the 1st of October, there are going to be celebrations all over, at least Europe. Let me start with home front, Europe. Um, on the When you come to the Americas, Brazil, and the United States, and I hope also Canada. And so there will be across the eastern board all the way to the West Coast. We will have some celebrations, and check in the forums where you are. And for those of us in diaspora, if the nearest celebration where you can go and participate, some whether it's on the East Coast or it's on the West Coast or it's in the Midland of America or it's in the north of Northern America or it's in the southern tip of South America in Brazil, please stay tuned. Yes, we have a few days to round up the preparation. And I can tell you, I feel a little bit jealous of the people in Berlin because they're going to have a lot more than that I know of. It doesn't mean that we will not, but so far, what's on their menu, I really like. I can see the Berlin's menu is so. Let's give it to them. 1884, when Berlin Conference was held and we were chopped up and divided as Africans. So let's have a good menu there where we can sit together, eat, and as well enjoy our Africanness, our celebration of independence, and tell the world and remind them that we are standing for our Amazonia flag and we will get to Boya. Um, I appreciate you. And there is a town hall. I want to remind everyone. If you have not yet joined, I think the link for that town hall it's already been shared on most of the forums. So use the link and join the town hall for the preparation of October 1st and hear all the wonderful things that are on the menu for us as Amazonians. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Emma, you want to make your closing remarks, then we're going to end the show?
Yes, we have a few surprises for you. Everybody is going to be in uniform, and we are going to make a statement with the way we look on the first. But as Mawini said, the celebrations begin on the 30th. ABC is going to be going around the globe covering all the activities. We are going to keep you guys entertained. The ground one, ground one, home front. Everybody, just be ready to stay awake. Get your coffee ready because it's going to be a 48-hour activity. Things will be happening all over the world. We are going to remind the world who we are, where we are, what we are doing, and we are going to let the world know that we know who we are and we celebrate who we are, and we are still standing and will stand and continue the ride to Boya. The bus has already left. The train left the station. Arrival time, we don't know, but hopefully it is very soon. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. I want to thank our guests today, Dr. Winnie Lobadi and my Emma Endele, for joining us on the Horizon, the voice of the Amber Woman. I want to thank all our viewers and listeners from all over the home front, ground one, the diaspora, for joining us. We are transitioning where we'll be ending the program so that some of us can join the Zoom meeting. And the voice of the Horizon is here every Friday. And we look forward to you. If you want to be a guest on the show, you can reach out to me. You have any topic that you find rewarding, find helpful, and you would like to share with our viewers, please feel free to reach out to me. And this announcement is talking about this special meeting that is taking place in a few right now. And also, there's another announcement about, well, you can just read the meeting. What we must do ahead of UN General Assembly sessions, strategies for October 1st, presidential press conference Thursday the 28th of, I'm not sure whether it's this month, 2023, and celebrating Independence Days with refugees in Ground One. So with that note, I end the show today, and thank you, and God bless you all. Bye for now.
Fellow Ambazonians,
Give me the freedom. Your people.
Saturday, the 23rd of September 2023. All roads lead to Menchum. Menchum is a great and strategic county in Ambazonia. And what is happening this day is the draft tour. Our caravan will be in Menchum this Saturday, the 23rd of September at 8 p.m. Ambazonia time. I want to invite all supporters of Menchum, all sons and daughters of Menchum, in the diaspora and in the home front, all members of government and all IHR representatives, including all the local government and county officials in Ambazonia. You are all welcome to Menchum. Let us draft for our ARFs that have been picking up steam and doing a lot of things. They are fired up. We want to give them the support they need. I invite all of us to gather and let's make Menchum great again. So extend this message to the onlookers, to those standing on the sideline, to those who are fired up like we are. Share this message to every Ambazonian. Tell them it is time for action. Those that want a free nation, they must pay a down payment today. They must make a sacrifice today. That is the truth about other countries, and that will not be different for Ambazonia. I look forward to welcoming you. God bless you, and God save our country.